Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Trying to make sure I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. It doesn't look like it. Okay, good, good. All right, Cheska Lee. So, for those of you that recall, we mentioned Cheska Lee a couple months ago, maybe a little bit over a couple months ago. Um, and shout out to her. Cheska Lee put out this video about um her husband, or well, being with a white man at one point. This video isn't that old; it's 5 days old, right? And Charles says, "I'm starting to live stream just to step on your toes." I get what you're saying, right? But yeah. So Cheska Lee, shout out to Cheska Lee. Um, and we're gonna kind of cover this a little bit. I'm considering covering this again with a guest. So yeah, anyway, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. We're not gonna beat up on Cheska Lee too much. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to spend a lot of time speaking about her comment section for this video. For those of you who checked out the links, I have that, and I have a video that I posted a little while ago where another black woman speaks about going to PWIs and what it did to her psychologically, and you know, and it listening to Cheska Lee speak about PWIs and respectability politics, et cetera, it spoke to and it reminded me of the video I posted not too long ago. All right, let's get to it. In the comments are a whole lot of black people, black women copping pleas. A whole lot of LGBTQ black folks and a whole lot of black women copping pleas. Huh? You know, Cheska Lee, as a black man, a straight black man born and raised in America, black men have to eat a lot of crap. Cheska Lee, if you think you had to eat a lot of crap for your white husband, you ain't seen nothing yet. Black men have to eat a lot of crap for dating non-black women, for marrying non-black women, black activists, men, um, black entertainers, etc., etc. Black athletes, etc., etc. Dear Cheska Lee, and women like you leave men like that out there to to deal with the slings and the arrows damn there by themselves. Huh? The comment section is copping a whole lot of pleas, and I'm going to link um all of the videos of both men of color and, quite frankly, women of color chastising women of color for their white male worship. Right? So for those of you who've never seen it, I'm this description box by tomorrow afternoon is gonna have like 20 links, maybe 15, maybe 10, right? But yeah, it's gonna have a lot of links at least. Huh? We don't have a real conversation um about what white masculinity means to women of color, both in and outside of the US. What did white male hegemony do to the minds of women of color when it comes to their concepts of manhood, masculinity, patriarchy, white male leadership, who should be running things, etc., etc. Sure, I said a plethora of links. Yeah, I'm gonna have a plethora, right? Why I'm covering this once again is mainly because of Cheska Lee's comment section, but also because Cheska Lee said something that we already knew, right? This is why I say, and I've said before, respectability politics is a gateway drug to anti-blackness. It's not because I am anti being respectable. I just appreciate that this is a tool in the toolkit to fight against anti-blackness. And when you put too much onus on that tool, what you end up doing is walking in, right? Sleepwalking into actually advocating in a way that's not actually liberatory for black folks. Huh? I also want to emphasize to Cheska Lee, if she ever comes up on this, the conversation we don't have. And by the way, Cheska Lee, have you ever heard of the book The Dating Divide? It's a white it's pretty much no black man there in sight, but they're covering online dating, and there's been a couple of interviews of the authors, Dr. Chantel Buggs and Dr. Jennifer Lundquist, and they've spoken about how, listen here, men of color don't put the same type of prestige on white women the way women of color put on white men. In other words, it's all about race, and particularly women, obviously white women, but also women of color, put everything on white masculinity. So the reason why I'm bringing that up in this conversation is there are the women who have their experiences, fine. And when you put a microphone in their face or a camera in their face, the first thing they'll tell you is like, well, my white husband, my white boyfriend, the first person to compliment me about my looks was a white man, and the first person to notice me is a white man, and the first person to tell me that they like my hair is a white man, and black men made fun of me, and black men don't like dark-skinned black women, and black men, and when I'm in these spaces, it's so easy to get along with white men, and white men are into different type of things, and black men made fun of me. And as Cheska Lee said, black men who neg me, and they neg me so hard, and they make fun of my voice, and they ask why I speak like this. Okay, fine, granted. There are black women who have that experience, supposedly. Latina women apparently have this type of experience. Asian women clearly have this experience. Check their interracial marriage rate, especially with white men. Um, okay, fine. What a big freaking coinkydink that the dating divide says to us, oh yeah, these women of color are chasing after white men. Uh-oh. They respond first to white men, then men of their respective races. Well, will you look at that? Huh? Cheska Lee, women of color, including black women, never speak about the fact that the way y'all see your own femininity, the way you think about race, not you in particular, Cheska Lee, maybe at one point, the way you think of hierarchy. And yes, y'all do want white male patriarchy, even some of you supposed progressives. See, black men, no, you can't have patriarchy. No, 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 black men. Nope, 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 nope. You're not a real man, so you don't get to get patriarchy. White men, on the other hand, oh yeah, that's why we're over there. We want the white male patriarchy. Huh? Cheska Lee, read through your own comments. It's a bunch of cap. All of a sudden, love is love, and you can't help who you love, and the heart knows no race, and huh? The heart knows no race, but once we start talking about education, status, and money, all of a sudden, women ain't talking. The heart knows no race anymore. Uh-oh, what happened? See, when we talk about white manhood and white masculinity, women of color start doing the heart knows no race, and I met someone that really understands me, and someone that really touches my soul, and he was in activist spaces, and he's woke too, and yawn. But if we start talking about status and education and political affiliation, when we start talking about income and wealth, all of a sudden women ain't saying the heart knows no race anymore. All of a sudden women are not saying you can't help who you love anymore. Love is love anymore. Uh-oh. Huh? The question is, Cheska Lee, have black men been getting a bad rap? In particular, black men. about this white female chase thing. This black men over every corner is a celebrity black man, an activist black man, an athlete black man, and the first thing he wants to do the second he has $1 is go lay up under the first non-black woman, probably white woman, he could get to. Black women, on the other hand, and other women of color by extension, but black women, on the other hand, no, they're looking for love, someone that just really understands them. Huh? So we are to believe that white male patriarchy and capitalism and um ideas of hierarchy and domination, all of that affects men, black men in particular, but other men, white men and definitely other men of color, but black men in particular. And women, on the other hand, they don't buy into none of that, especially not black women. Huh? We are supposed to believe that black women are the one group of people, and definitely other women of color, they don't buy into any of this talk of hierarchy and patriarchy and status and social status. They're not looking at the white man as, oh no, he's the real man. No, 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 no. Black men want white women in particular as a trophy to make up for the fact that in America they're not really men. So black men, especially if he has a couple of dollars, he goes seeking, especially if he has some notoriety, some fame, he goes seeking white women to make up for his insatiable inferiority complex because he's not a white man. So he might have some status in the society, but the only way he can really symbolize it is by having a non-black woman, but definitely a white woman on his arm. But this doesn't apply to women of color, and definitely not black women. No, 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 no. Huh? Absolutely not. Now, once again, Cheska Lee, your framing, I understand. I heard you loud and clear. Check your community. I mean, excuse me. Check your comments, though, Cheska Lee. And by the way, I'm not one of those people that's making you responsible for your comments. Not fully. I get it. I'm not doing that. But check your comments. Huh? Check your comments. It's a whole lot of women of color and LGBTQ people of color copping, please, because nobody want to be out and out and say it. Look, man, yeah, we progressive right up until come time to end up with someone, and we want the white man because the white man, yeah, the status and the money and the lifestyle, and yeah, that part. And I just don't want to deal with another black person. I just don't want to have to deal with. I already have my own issues as a black person. I don't want to have to deal with another person that's black and their issues, right? Even Bell Hooks said women take on the status of their men, and if I'm a black woman and I marry a white man, particularly a middle class and above white man, ooh, maybe an upper middle class white man, ooh, maybe a rich white man, but fine. If I end up with a middle class white man, I'm winning, huh? Because that's never in women's calculus now, is it? Not ever. Nope, nope, nope. Definitely not women of color, and definitely not black women. That's not in their calculus at all. Or better yet, it is, but it's those conservative women over there, right? It's the Candace Owens black women. It's not no. It not progressive black women don't care nothing about that. Yeah, that's it, huh? It's a whole lot of women in Cheska Lee's comment section copping please like a mug. I don't know who they think they lying to. They not lying to black men. Who you lying to? Huh? Human beings are very status conscious, very aware. But all of a sudden, when it comes to intimacy, sex, interracial relationships, all of a sudden, women of color, black women in specific, nope, 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 no. I'm just looking for the best man for the job. Huh? I'm just looking for the best man for the job. And race don't factor in at all. Yeah. Huh? So whether it's Christian Rudder with Dataclysm, whether it's Dr. Chantel Buggs and Dr. Jennifer Lundquist, and they had another author for the dating divide. No matter where we go, the statistics say the same thing. Yeah, black men might be marrying out more, but that ain't because black women ain't trying. This don't got nothing to do with loyalty. This has to do with, well, Cheska Lee's a different situation because she was actually married to a white man at one point. This has to do with whether white men want to, whether the same white man that might have sex with you, whether he's willing to marry you as a black woman. That's what this is about. Not simply if he's attracted to you, not simply if he would have sex with you. Nope, 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 nope. Whether he will marry you. Huh? Huh. So we have black women and LGBTQ black folks doing the same thing they always do. Whenever we start talking about race and intimacy, all of a sudden you can't help who you love, and these conversations need to be more nuanced, and we need to stop doing the racial litmus test, and we need to realize, like, once you start digging in, nobody's really pro-black like that. We could question black men all day, every day about their sexual preferences, why they choose what they choose. We could question them about their inferiority complex. We could insult them from the conservative angle and the progressive angle simultaneously. You ain't no real man because you ain't white and rich. While also saying why you trying to be like a rich white man and be domineering and be patriarchal. While also criticizing them for not being patriarchal enough. We could do both literally at the same time. That's how we talk to and about black men in the black community. Black women, on the other hand, oh boy, black women get to lie in front of our faces and then cap it off with, well, you can't help who you love. And the heart knows no race. Huh? And black men made fun of me because of the way I speak and the way I act, and black men in colorism and texturism and featureism. And the first person to compliment me about my looks was a white man. We get to listen to, and once again, Cheska Lee's situation is a bit different, but we get to listen to black women just lie straight to our faces and then dare us to say something about it too. Huh? Oh boy. So if the issue is that, and as Cheska Lee said, she hates this question. Um, and the question from the original poster that Cheska Lee replied to was essentially, why are so many activists black folks with non-black folks, mainly white people, right? So why are so many activists black folks with white folks? Um, and Cheska Lee proceeded to first say she hates this question, and then she proceeded to answer the question. So there you go. Number one. Number two, she spoke about respectability and essentially how Mr. Z says it's a gateway drug to some anti-black stuff. Um, she spoke about her upbringing, the PWIs, and you know, things that you can understand. You can understand how Cheska Lee in specific got to where she is. But the care we take with black women when it comes to this, the leeway we gave them to explain this and to understand, you know what? I can understand how you ended up married to the white guy. I get it. You know what? I get it. We don't show black men that same courtesy. Because we think black men chase after white women and non-black women to spite black women. Huh. Now, if that's true, so what? But we say that assuming it's true or pretending like we assume it's true. Because I don't really think we believe it. I think we just say that because in the black community, we're really anti black man and no, like, it's ridiculous, right? It's fascinating, once again, reading through Cheska Lee's comments, listening to her speak about, and as she said, she won't be doing that again concerning the white husband. So I'm not sure. And I think she might be saying, I'm not doing marriage again, or she could be saying, I'm not, if I were to get married, I'm not marrying a white man again, which, okay, fine. There's a whole other conversation to have about white man to queer relationships concerning black women, right? I might want to start compiling videos and articles about black women who were once upon a time dating or married to white men or a white man, and now post divorce, post breakup, now they're queer. I guess after the white man, ain't no really where to go after that, right? Like, you've reached the pinnacle of quote unquote manhood and masculinity and patriarchy, so there really ain't nowhere to go except for queer. I mean, what you gonna do? End up with a black man? I mean, now Jessica Lee did say she's dating black men, so once again, this is not exclusive to her. But I am trying to use this to have a larger conversation about black women, women of color, and their supposed preferences, right? And how everything is everything when they end up with the white man, right? Like, everyone understands hierarchies and oppression and all this other stuff and patriarchy, and everybody's anti-patriarchy, but then women of color just keep on ending up with, white men, the face of patriarchy. Huh? And swear to us now, no, 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 not my white husband, though. My white husband is woke. My white husband is progressive. Yeah, that's it. Huh? Exactly. Only logical. Only logical says divested to LGBTQ pipeline. Swirler to LGBTQ pipeline. Right. So I really want to ask: do we truly appreciate what this black thing is in America? Right? And like what it means, and what does it mean when a black young lady who said that, she dated a black guy in college, but he would always neg her, and then she just gave up on the whole thing and said, I'm not gonna. If I remember correctly, Jessica Lee was saying something like, "I'm not gonna keep on being made fun of and whatever, whatever." Right? You know, of course, I'm gonna say this as a black man, but I think black women really. I think y'all should date white dudes more. I think y'all should. Now, I'm not about y'all coming back after the fact. But that's just Z. But I think y'all should date white dudes more. Because there's this idea of like white men being like this panacea from black women having to deal with black men, and black men and the colorism and the sexism and the texturism and the issues yeah. And all of a sudden, when it fails with the white men are men, by the way. They go over there because white men are better, but then when it fails with white men, then men are men and they're all the same. Yeah, that's it. Huh? I am waffles. That's hysterical. And I am waffles says, how else do we expect them to smash the patriarchy? Say that. Smash the patriarchy by getting smashed in by the patriarchy. Oh boy. The white patriarchy, of course. Huh? Huh? Oh man. It.
I don't want to. I I'm truly not attempting to go in on Cheska Lee too much, right? But black women in this marrying out and dating out for those of them that can manage it, and it and the way, and she said she got so much crap for it. Once again, and you're a black woman. Imagine if you were a black man. Um, Black women in this dating and marrying out, right? And like how it's kind of flown under the radar because if we're gonna be honest, both in and out the black community, we look at black women marrying out, particularly the white men, as a come up. No pun intended. I mean, you could put a pun in there that it would be funny, right? We as a general rule in America, we look at black women who end up married to a white man as like, oh, she done came up, huh? But when you listen to black women speak about their interracial relationships and definitely interracial marriage specifically with white men, that like never comes up as if that's not something that they know people are saying and that they might have even to their face been told. As a matter of fact, Cheska Lee, wait a minute. If Zeke remembers correctly, didn't you make a video about how you would be being approached by other women who said, "Oh, I can't wait. Oh, you got a white husband. I can't wait for you to have mixed light babies or nice babies, you know, with pretty skin." Cheska Lee, didn't you make a video like that years and years and years and years and years and years back when you were still married? Wasn't that you, or was that someone else? Is Mr. Z? Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Wait a minute, if Mr. Z remembers correctly, because I've been watching Cheska Lee for a long time, because I always thought Cheska Lee was attractive, especially when she had the dreads. Shout out to young Cheska Lee, right? Miss Cheska Lee. So you do know that people view you as a black woman ending up with the white man that you were married to as you're winning. Mm, but this is something that women of color pretend like they don't understand while they are more open to white men. Check the statistics if you doubt Z. Once again, that's why I'm referring to the book The Dating Divide. Huh? And Leon says, no, we look at those women like they hit a lick. Huh? Wow. That's and who asked the question? Where's the question again? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, no, I missed it. I missed it. I missed it. Wow. Oh yeah, GC asked. Didn't Cheska Lee pay her white man's way through law school? If I remember correctly, she said something like that. Look, y'all killing me with the friend. Look, I'm not even Bruce Ownway. What did Bruce Ownway? And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Bruce Ownway, look, y'all killing me. Young Bond. Okay, Bruce, I'm gonna need the translation. I'm not. I can't even do it. And then better you back it up, right? Oh man. And Old Logical said yes, she did. Look, like I said, if this is we're using Cheska Lee as an avatar. It's really not about her per se. And I actually, in a weird way, I actually somewhat thank her for that video. But she explains it's things that we already suspect, right? She confirms some of the things we already suspect, and it was a bit vulnerable here, to be honest with you, right? It's things that we already suspect, but she was a bit vulnerable here, and so I'm not gonna beat up on her for being vulnerable. But her comment section is off the chain. All Z saw was a bunch of black folks copping pleas. And by the way, you don't have to quote unquote make excuses for ending up with who you end up with. I'm not even there with it. But it is funny watching black folks, namely black women and LGBTQ black folks, tie themselves to the pretzels once they end up with the white dude. Once they end up with the white dude, all of a sudden it's time to. So you don't get it. He's progressive. He's woke. He was the first person to compliment me. He didn't neg me. Hey, not the Latino, not the Asian guy, right? No, 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 no. When it comes to the white guy, all of a sudden everybody start. Well, white guys are, and that's why I'm going to link Kidology's video about why all these women of color are chasing after the white dudes. I'm gonna put the dating divide in my description box, right? I'm gonna put a bunch of videos, right? Christian Rudder with the interview where he was speaking about dadicalism, because it's clear, dear women, that includes even you, Cheska Lee, y'all are not above propaganda. And if the narrative is that black men in particular adhere to the European beauty standard, that's why they want something light, bright, and damn they're white, right? If that's the narrative, then there's no way, unless you're saying black women are superior, and some of you are making that argument, many of you, almost all of you. Anyway, unless you're saying black women are superior, there's no way that black women too haven't bought into the propaganda of white supremacy and believe that the white man's ice is colder, and then white men in particular are just better men because they're the only man, because they're the real man, right? Okay, and he says, oh, okay. And Bruce on Wayne says, um, lying, yeah, lying milk seller always lying about the quality of the milk. Hey, I'm not. Look, I, yeah. I don't even want to go into that. I ain't even gonna do it. I ain't even gonna do it. Right? Yeah, exactly, Trell. White men are the real men, and I think there's something about manhood, like that doesn't allow for you to lie in that way to yourself, where women get to like tie themselves into pretzels and forget lying to everyone else. Forget that. Lie to themselves. It's so much easier to lie to other people when you can lie to yourself. And so, like, they don't ever have to come to terms with you over there because of the status. You over there because of the white masculinity. Like, that's part of the allure. Like, it's not just something that you just quote unquote benefit from. No, much of the reason why you're over there is because he's a white man on planet Earth in the 21st century who benefits from white male patriarchy. And miss me with the well, he uses that to speak about marginalized people and oppressed people. Miss me. Huh? We cover this because what we heard from Cheska Lee sounds like a lot of our cousins that grew up in the burbs, right? Betty, what am I supposed to do with this comment? Right? Right. And Bruce on Wayne is over here trying to explain stuff. I need a translation on Better Use comment also. I need a translation. Once again, thank you for the super chat, Better You. Thank you for the super chat. Right? Huh? I would argue that femininity, particularly constructed by white folks, allows for white women and even other women who are not white in the West in particular to play this innocent game where we don't actually have to come to terms with who we are and why we are and how we move and how we operate. And there's like a lack of self awareness, definitely a lack of how others view you that women get to engage in that men wish they could. Probably don't wish, but once again, that's using a figure of speech. where women don't have to admit that much of the reason why y'all are over there because the white man is a white man in the 21st century, and so he gets the benefit from white male patriarchy. And you're against white male patriarchy, but you're really actually not in your intimate and personal life. Uh-oh. Kim Foster said it, feminists in the streets, right? Patriarchy in the sheets. Huh? And bro, okay, thank you, better you. I get it. And thank you, Bruce Wayne, for the translation. And he says, "Let them eat cats," but for real, yeah. It's manger shot. Yeah. Really, it's kite yo manger shot if you really want to say it. Or you could say Z yoka manger shot, right? Yep. And and once again, thank you for that, better you. Thank you for that. And Inspired Shoot, thank you for your super chat. And Inspired Shoot says, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Inspired Shoot says, target tax, right? Yeah. And thank you for that. Thank you for that. One to go. I mean, well, one down. One down. That's actually what I should have said, right? So it's just cop and please. Look, you end up with who you end up with. Fine. Dear ladies, fine. Mr. Z's not about legislating black women to stay in the black community with black men. Right. Mr. Z is not about it. With that, it's very convenient that once we start talking about black women and interracial relationships, particularly with white men, all of a sudden, you know, as I said, I think this is the best way to kind of frame this. The people that say you can't help who you love and the heart doesn't know anything about race, and we have to have a more nuanced conversation, right? When we speak about political affiliation, they don't want to hear nothing about no nuance. When we speak about money, they don't want to hear anything about nuance. When we speak about education, they don't want to hear anything about nuance. When we speak about status, they don't want to hear anything about nuance. When we speak about what women are supposedly deserving of, they don't want to hear anything about nuance. But once the white man enters the chat, he can easily enter women of color. Anyway, once the white man enters the chat, all of a sudden, women of color and LGBTQ folks start speaking about nuance. Huh? Start speaking about nuance and understanding and how it's different and how this white man is different. Huh? Status no longer matters. Position no longer matters, no pun intended. Money and education no longer matters. I mean, he is white, so he supersedes all of that, right? Can I appreciate what Chester Lee was saying about her upbringing? Yes. It makes sense. It makes sense. But when it comes to black men, ain't nobody trying to hear that though. Black men don't get that courtesy. It doesn't matter where he grew up. If he's not with a black woman, he's gonna get a whole Cheska Lee. You think you got crap? He gonna get a whole lot more. If you want to have a conversation about if black men belong to black women, I'm willing to have that conversation. Mr. Z is willing to have the conversation, and I said the word belong, and I meant it the way I said it. If black women want to have a conversation about if black men belong to black women, I'm willing to have that conversation. You ain't gonna like where it go though. What's going on, Mr. Donnie Mac? Huh? If black women want to have the conversation of black women should get the first right of refusal, I'm willing to have that conversation. Huh? I'm willing to have that conversation. Once again, I don't know how much black women will appreciate that conversation when I'm done. If black women want to have a conversation about the European beauty standard and who adheres to it, I'm willing to have that conversation. If black women want to have the conversation about how many black men are marrying out, I'm willing to have that conversation. Celebrity, rich, elite black men marrying out because y'all living vicariously through the black female celebrities, so y'all feel slighted every time one of these black elite men end up with a non-black woman. I'm willing to have that conversation. Once again, I'm willing to have this conversation as long as black women, because they're not going to be, but as long as black women are willing to be honest about how often they try and fail at the non-black man. I'm willing to have the conversation as long as black women are willing to admit that it's not they never had sex with a white man, huh? And it's not that they didn't used to do something strange for some change with white dudes in college, huh? And it's not that they haven't had sex with their white male coworker, huh? It's that those things they never turn. Oh man, I'll read in a minute. It's just that those things didn't turn that situationship into marriage. If black women want to have that conversation, we could have it. If y'all could be honest, and if we could be honest that out, Cheska Lee once again is a exception to this rule that in America everybody's having sex with everyone. I've said this multiple times. In America, everyone is having sex with everyone. It's when it becomes time to adult and get married when black women start getting their feelings hurt. Huh? And so the people that don't necessarily fit into that are all in Cheska Lee's comment section copping please. The black women and black LGBTQ who don't necessarily fit perfectly into that because they did secure the marriage to the white dude, non-black man, but let's be honest, white guy. They're all in Cheska Lee's comments, copping please. Huh? Accessibility matters. Sometimes you can be the only black voice in these spaces. I think people fail to realize that depending on the circumstances, meeting a black person who shares your values, views, and vision is more difficult than it seems. If the person you love respects your values, views, and vision, then you're golden. Hey, once again, we're doing one of those race don't really matter when it comes to these things. Yeah, how convenient because because Cheska Lee is a black woman, and this is from a black woman's view. Y'all would not be giving this type of leverage to a black man. Period. Huh? Y'all gonna love this one. This comment says everything. Thank you for speaking so openly on this subject. And can we talk about the sheer number of black men who reject black women out of hand as soon as said black woman has an education, a career, a job, any agency? How many black men rejected and disrespected Serena, Eve, VP Harris, Megan, Flotus Michelle, was this Gabri? I think she meant to say Gabri Sidibe, I guess. Before they got married, and what were they afraid of? Oh boy, right. Continuing, what were they afraid of? I have to compartmentalize and dumb myself down all day outside the community. I'll be damned if I'm gonna jump through those same hoops in my home or romantic relationships. Maybe these activists are partnered with people who make them feel whole, heard, loved, and supported. who happen to be white. 197 likes. Hey, once we start speaking about white men, all of a sudden black women start playing around with anti-black tropes who happen to be white. Doesn't that sound like white people who pulled the whole who happen to be black comment? Oops. Oh yeah, my best friend, he's the coolest dude in the world, and he just happens to be black. Uh-oh. Huh? You imagine? Let's get this right. Black men were rejecting Eve, everyone. Black men were rejecting Kamala Harris. Black men were rejecting Michelle Obama. Or was she speaking about Michelle the singer from Destiny's Child? Black men reject Michelle. Michelle's alright. She's alright looking. Black men are rejecting Michelle. What? Hey, once white men enter the chat, all of a sudden, black women and other women of color, their brains go to mush. We start making excuses. We start copping pleas. Huh? And here we are with the same sexist trope about how black men in particular are intimidated by black women in her education, her career, and her agency. The same sexist trope we've been hearing for the longest. Meanwhile, everyone knows that the black community is a matriarchy if you want to be kind, a gynocracy if you want to be accurate. We have had black scholars, white scholars, researchers all say it. How intimidated are black men then? Oops. If black men are still marrying said women, black men are still having children with said women, educated or not, high achieving career or not, we already know black women got all the agency in the world. Black women are quick to tell a black man how they don't need them. But black men are intimidated. Huh. Because it's black men who are literally repealing Roe versus Wade, right? That's black men. A black man, mixed black man, but a black man was president for 8 years and he ain't go nowhere near repealing Roe versus Wade. But black men are intimidated by black women and their agency. Huh? Uh-oh. Telescope, I'm gonna highlight that comment in a minute. It's hysterical. It's accurate. Huh? Once again, we're back to Serena because Jamie Foxx ain't dedicate 2 goddamn ESPYs to Serena. Wait, Jamie Foxx. That gotta be a white man, right? Wait. That's a black man. One of the most talented men in Hollywood. I didn't just say black men in Hollywood. One of the most talented men in Hollywood. Funny, can sing, and can act. Comedian, can sing, and can act. And he dedicated 2 damn ESPYs to Serena Williams. But this black person, assuming black woman, once again, what did she say? How many black men rejected and disrespected Serena, Eve, VP Harris, Megan? I said Megan. I said Michelle. Megan. Yeah. What Megan is she talking about? And yeah, floated. So First Lady, yeah, Michelle. So okay, floated. So it was Michelle Obama. Yeah. Right. Wow. Huh. Meghan Markle, maybe? Yeah. You might be right, Trell. Megan, you think brothers was rejecting Meghan Markle? Meghan Markle been chasing after the goddamn princes since she was in elementary school. One of her friends bust her out. She had pictures of them on the wall. She been wanting them in the with the black men were never in the picture. Her ex-husband is white, isn't he? What are you talking about? Right? If I focus on this comment too long, I'm gonna be here forever. As as Telescope said. Let's read that comment from Telescope. And Telescope says, "Uh-oh, Z focusing on the black women's inaccurate, inconsistent comments tonight. We'll be here forever." Right? For real. If I really do focus on it, we'll be here forever. Right? And y'all gives you a second. Let's get to the other one. Oh boy, black women here. My partner is a white man too. It doesn't impact my ability to advocate for other black people. In fact, my partner is there right next to me. He empathizes with the black struggle because his parents fled Bosnian cleansing of 1992. Okay, all right, right. Oh boy. Oh, here we. This is a long ass comment. I always tell people I go where I'm appreciated. I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not or to try to fit a narrow mold of what I should be as an attractive black woman, quote unquote, as an attractive black woman. When I was growing up, the standard for physical black beauty was light skin, curvy, straight hair. Oh, God, the tropes. I've always been skinny, medium toned, tall, gap tooth with natural hair. Okay, continuing. Where gap tooth with natural hair. That paired, um, that paired with surrounding white alienated me from my community. I was never enough. There was always criticism on how I looked and how I presented myself. Now that my perspective, there is a wider spectrum of appreciation for the different kind of experiences of black women beauty. I'm already booed up with a white dude who has always thought I was beautiful and not once has put me down. Life is long, so well. Oh, excuse me. Give me a second, y'all. Life is long, so we'll see where I stand as I progress. But I'm loyal to my partner who has always been understanding and loyal to me. This is just my experience. But black suitors had their chance and spent it ridiculing me, so I went with someone who wanted me, and that has 124 likes. Thank you, Dell. All my life I had to fight ass. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Right? You see how they just once again, excuse me. A black man who left this would have been made fun of, insulted, right? Had his black card pulled. People would have questioned him. Black women all in Chescalee's comment section, right? Next person says, you have to go where you are cherished and beloved. Oh God, of course, of course. When the white man walks in the room, all of a sudden we talking about love, right? All of a sudden we talking about love when the white man walks in the room. Of course we are, right? Next person, this is a woman. It's 2024. You love who you love. Loving someone of another race does not erase your race. Fighting injustice, excuse me, fighting injustice does not stop because of who you love. Oh, actually, ma'am, it does. Sometimes you have to fight that much harder because you are interracial couple. Oh, not the. Actually, my plight might be a little bit more difficult because I'm with the white man. Not that. I know she ain't trying to pull that. And I'm not saying this lady is with the white man. I'm saying I know she ain't trying to pull the. Well, if you're in an interracial marriage as a black woman, it might even be more difficult than being with a black man. Hey, when we're discussing the white man and interracial relationships, everybody brain go to mush. Protect the white man and being with him at all cost, right? Huh? Wow. As a queer woman of color who dated the Rainbow Coalition, one can okay, that's a typo, I guess. One cannot be picked unless you okay, no it's not, it's me. One cannot be picked unless you are asexual or they are not your type. It doesn't matter who you are dating. It matters how they are treating you. Oh, once again, when you start speaking about white men, Watching people dance when you start speaking about white men in particular is just fascinating. You saw with Kidology, you're seeing with the people in Cheska Lee's comments, the way people, man, once again, women of color in particular, and LGBTQ folks, once white men enter the chat, everybody's brain goes to mush, and it's time to start copping pleas on why we want to be. Say it, Z. No, I'm not gonna say it. The human trampoline for goddamn white men, goddamn, right? Toya, uh, right, man. I'm still reading through the comments, seeing which one I want to read to y'all. Oh boy. Okay, all right. I guess I'll read this one. Yeah, what I've experienced as a suburban black non-binary gay was a lot of black people constantly irritated that I acted white, quote unquote acted white. Not all by a long shot, but a lot. I dated black men who were chill and liked me just as I was, though. Also, I felt the most comfortable and least judged by them after checking off the red flag list. Unfortunately, I find there is less and less judgment about quote unquote acting white each year as opposed to my youth. However, there are a lot of critics who themselves wouldn't date the activists they're talking about because they move or speak too different. Black people are not supposed to be a monolith. We're supposed to be free. Oh boy. You caught it too, Better You? And Better You says, how you non-binary and gay? Pick a lane, pick a damn lane. But so this is where the conservatives and the Republicans have fun with this type of crap. Oh, they laugh their asses off about this because all it is just gobbledygook virtue signaling. It's paying, it's playing, excuse me, top trumps with I'm non-binary, asexual, person with a peg leg, and all you're trying to do is do the reverse power thing where I'm the most marginalized. So in a weird way, I have the most leverage to speak. I have the most space to speak because I'm the most marginalized. As a queer, non-binary, third sibling of a single mother who, and what you're really saying is, as the most marginalized person in the room, I now have qualified myself to do the most talking, to have the most leverage in this space. Chuck, Chuck, you actually got me that time. You beat Trell to it. You beat Trell to it because Trell said it before too. That's because I thought about the video when you said it. God damn, I don't think that's ever gonna not make me laugh. I don't think that's ever gonna because I every time y'all say it in the comments, I think about it. I actually think of it. That's funny. Oh wow. No, I haven't seen it. And Dre says, Z, have you heard um Candace calling the UK white chick who slept with 100 men in 24 hours a victim yet? No. Did he really though? Better you says, I'm a black man whose barber effed up his tape line and has a hangnail. How marginalized am I? LOL. I hope your barber didn't really mess up your tape line, right? Indigo says, as a black, queer, non-binary, quadriplegic man, if you don't get get the F out of here, but look, right? And Leon says, my fellow lefty says, non-binary or gender conforming means literally nothing. Just women bad because their condition makes them perform in the market as a man to maintain their living conditions. Ooh. Look, Leon, you can't be telling these type of truths, man. Once again, Inspired Truth, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, you did, Vic. Yes, you did. And Vic says, and thank you for the super chat. Victor Creed says, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. I told you they speak in catchphrases, bro. By the way, I'm gonna start using this too, Vic. I'm gonna start using this because you're right. Because you're right, right? And you're right. Yeah, the catchphrases. Yeah. Ah. And this person says, I hope people see, especially black people, that all of this is also the black experience. It's not just living in all black or majority black environments while attending school, church, or working a job, etc. It's also what you have um, shared here, which you have shared here. We're talking about to Cheska Lee. Thanks for being open, forthright, and adding more dimensions to the conversation about our experiences as black people. Be well. I actually somewhat agree with that comment. I actually somewhat agree with that comment. Right. I don't think we actually are though. And this person says this is a dude. I remember when asking this question would get you labeled a hotep. Now we're having an intelligent, insightful discussion about it. We're growing as a people, and I love it for that. I love us for that. Ah, see, I think you went a little too far with that. Ugh. I think we still end up with the same type of old answers we always ended up with, which is you can't help who you love. And I would believe that if we didn't live in a white capitalist neo. I'm not even going to go through the list because I really wanted to say a neo-colonial settler state. Oh damn! I guess I did go through all the terms. There you go. Right. If we didn't live in that society, then maybe you can't help who you love. What does love look like in that context? Oops. Does it look like a whole lot of women of color who are open to white men, but don't want to admit it because they don't want to accept and admit that they're open to the same hierarchy that they chastise? Ooh, right? Say that. That's my point. Exactly, Better You. And Better You says, if you can't help who you love, why be upset when a black guy marries out? Because they think you're not, they think that you have adhered to the European beauty standard that puts them at a disadvantage. They refuse to admit that they also adhere to the European beauty standard and the idea of opulence and their idea of not just beauty but of everything, and it's just not working for them. Huh? Yeah. Oh, this comment is beautiful. This comment says, and this is from a woman, there are white people who are woke too. Being a kind, empathetic person who cares, I guess she wants to say cares for the rights of others isn't something that is exclusive to black and brown people. There are European people who are working to help marginalized people. Oh, hey man, look, when the white men step in the room, boy, hey man, women of color and LGBTQ folks, boy, do they start dancing. Remember, black men, you're the one who's labeled the coon. Remember, you're the one who's labeled a sellout. Remember, black men, you're the one who the article was written on saying black men are the weakest link in the black community. Huh? Remember, you're the one. Sure, I ain't even gonna highlight it. I'm just saying. Right? Man, I'm just reading through the comments. Calling calling someone a colonizer simply because their racial classification is white is beyond stupid. That might be a white person. I'm looking at a comment. It may or may not be. Better yet, I'm looking at the name. It may or may not be. Right? Relatable. However, it needs to be said, you cannot tell the heart who to love. Thank you for speaking on this. That is the once again, going right back to what Better You said. If that's true, then why do y'all have an issue with who wealthy, rich black men end up with when they end up with a non-black woman? Number one. Number two, if that's true, then why does the dating divide say that women of color are more open to white men and then men of their respective races? Uh-oh. But look, Bruce Wayne, you're killing me right now. You're killing me. Bruce Wayne giving me it's like simple, but it's not. Not for me anyway. Upstart say that. And Upstart says, I better see these same takes during NFL draft day. Say that. Hitflix, that's a great comment. And Hitflix says, a girl once told me, you can help who you love. I asked her, so you can fall in love with a swastika patch or a clan member? She just got quiet. Right? Leon, I ain't even gonna read that comment out loud. Right? It like I said, I'm I'm not gonna go in too much on Cheska Lee. I I appreciate her angle, and she's not the only black person, definitely black woman, to speak on this. And I've said even on my own channel, I've said it on Art New Style channel. There's something about black people that have to double back on their blackness, right? It's not that I'm not saying that they were never black. I'm not doing that, but a certain level of awareness and consciousness, dare I say wokeness. Oh boy, Z, you said it. I said it, right? Because of their upbringing, and as Cheska Lee said, respectability politics, her parents, PWI. I get it. I get it. Being in those wider spaces, I get it. And then they have to double back on that, right? Just the internal work, and you see that, like, even with um Amanda Marianne with her little Jimmy with her series Crushed, right? And she shows you the video of essentially her when she was younger. She plays, the not a video, but she has a short, like a movie short where she's trying to flirt with her white homeboy, but he ain't biting. He's not going. And there's something to be said about growing up that way. I get it. So I'm not really going in on Cheska Lee, but her comment section is so full of crap, right? Her comment section is so full of crap. And somebody sitting here going to her video. So it's a combination of this is who I ended up running. This is who I ended up running with in activist spaces, talking about Cheska Lee's white husband, and y'all didn't want me anyway, talking to black men. And so this person summed up what Cheska Lee was saying by saying, once again, so it's a combination of quote unquote, this is who I ended up with, this is who I ended up running with in activist spaces, and once again, quote unquote, y'all didn't want me anyway. Cheska Lee. Well, Rocky might have just been saying that to be saying that. But there is a video of you at the end of a stairwell and ASAP Rocky bending the corner and saying, "What's going on, beautiful lady?" or something like that. If I remember correctly. Oh, damn, Z, you've been watching Cheska Lee that long? I've been watching Cheska Lee that long. Right? I told y'all I'm all over these internet streets. You don't know where Mr. Z been. Right? Man, wow. Just reading through the comments. Yeah. So on that note, y'all, yeah, I just wanted to come to y'all with that. It's crap. I I get Cheskali's angle. I just think it's too damn convenient. I reading through her comments, and I want to stress this to Cheskali, if she ever falls onto this video. It's way too convenient for us to give so much leeway and leverage to Black women and women of color in specific. Well, women of color more broadly, let me say. Um, when it comes to their relationships specifically with white men. It's so convenient the angle that y'all come to, right? The white man was the first one to come. This is what Mindy Kaling said. The white men are the first ones to compliment y'all about how y'all look, and the white man is the first one to really appreciate your beauty, and the white man is the one that doesn't make fun of your darker skin or your different nose or your hair texture, right? You hear so many women of color say the same thing concerning white men, which is crazy because these are the same people oftentimes that rail against the European beauty standard. So let me get this right. White men writ large, them and their ancestors, so they perpetuate uh colorist, sexist, racist, hegemonic order and system, and their ancestors created that system, but individual white men appreciate women of color, particularly darker skinned women of color, their broader noses and their fuller lips and their darker skin and but wait, what? What? Man. So I'm still reading through these comments, and yeah, as I said, reading through these comments, Cheskali, all I can say is as a Black man, is just way too convenient, and we're not given the same latitude. Black men are not given the same latitude, and we, as marginalized people, Black women get to play this game of, the Black men didn't want me, and the first person to compliment me was the white man. And to be frank with y'all, I don't believe most of you. I almost don't believe any of you, to be frank. I was born and raised in America also. I ain't never seen white men chasing after Black women like that, especially white men that don't come from the hood. Have I seen middle class white men with middle class Black women? Yes. Does it happen? Yes. Is it a thing? No. Huh? As I said before, let me get this right. White men perpetuate the system, but they're marrying Black women. They perpetuate the racial hierarchy, and Black women in majority are trying to fight against a white patriarchal capitalist and neo-colonial system, but somehow individual white men who benefit from that system love them some Black women. Do I think that obviously there are white men like that, because there are white men like that? Any significant number? Oh boy. And reading through your comments, Cheskali, once again, I'm not indicting you for your comments. It's a whole lot of Black women and LGBTQ Black folks copping a whole lot of pleas, and I'm gonna just say it. I don't believe them. If you end up with the white guy, so be it. But all I hear is excuses, not reasons. And the reason why that matters It's because, to be honest, I don't know if I want you on the front lines concerning anything black. It looked like you'll fold. Huh? It looked like you'll fold. Huh? Wow. Someone acting dumb, and this person says, woman, says, why are these activists and celebs judged by who they date? I'm just asking out of curiosity because it seems like it goes nowhere to be critical of someone's choice of a partner instead of focusing on someone's own statements and actions. Did I just read that? Let's read that sentence again. Because it seems like it goes nowhere to be critical of someone's choices of a partner instead of focusing on someone's own statements and actions. Madam, ending up with a non black person, namely a white person, clearly, that's not a statement and an action? Wait a minute. For the masses of black people, namely black women, ending up with the white man in particular isn't a statement and an action? You're not making a statement by having a white husband in America, caca? Uh-oh. Being married to the white man isn't an action? Better you says these people been lobotomized, bro, and he put a question mark. Is it a statement or a question, better you? You put a question mark, but it looked more like a statement. Is that a rhetorical question? Right? Revelot said, fold quicker than a lawn chair. Say that. I know you meant to say lobotomized. I know. Wow. So once again, I'm covering this not so much again for Cheska Lee, but for her comment section because comments like that one that I just read. Wow. And this is why I included the LGBTQ in my comment. I'm a gay black man. I almost exclusively only dated other gay black men. I met my husband, oh boy, who is white, of course, in grad school because I absolutely loved him. And also, in words of Eartha Kitt, in words of Eartha Kitt, many men have wanted to lay me down, but none of them have ever wanted to stand me up. The other men I dated before, we just weren't compatible on the long term, and that's okay. I still am very much black and proud and always fighting for our rights, our respect, history, and our culture. My white husband doesn't make me any less black. And if we really win if we really want to go deep, if we really want to go deep, I am inflack from other black people. I get, I think this person is trying to say I get much flack. I get flack from other black people, especially black men, not because my husband is white, but because I'm gay. This is why I include. That's why I kept on saying black women or women of color and LGBTQ folks. Uh, red flags all over this goddamn comment. We ain't even gonna talk about the LGBTQ stuff. Okay, whatever. Right? Eartha Kitt as a reference point. These people be losing while losing. Oh, wow. You really reference Eartha Kitt. And also in the words of Eartha Kitt, many men have wanted to lay me down, but none of them ever wanted to stand me up. Oh, as an LGBTQ black man. Oh, as an LGBTQ black man. Wow. Wow. Trill. Oh, wow. Of course. This comment, you knew the colorism was gonna peek its ugly head in eventually. You have to accept love where you can receive it. Dark skinned black women, DSBW, dark skinned black women often have better dating experiences with white men because of colorism, all while fighting to end the system that alienates them. Y'all knew the colorism comment was coming. Oh, you knew, right? You knew the colorism. You knew we were gonna be met with colorism eventually, and here we are. Right? A 414. I'm just saying. I ain't even gonna highlight the comment. I'm just a right. Uh oh. Right. So on that note, yo, we'll pause right here. I definitely wanted to bring this up, and it is exactly for comments like this. Right. Dark skinned black women often have better dating experiences with white men because of colorism. 13 likes. Then where are all of the white men marrying you and don't? This is why the rest in peace, Kevin. As much as y'all hated him, one of the most pivotal things he did on his channel was tell y'all he don't count it unless it's marriage. There's a whole lot of women of color getting rotted out by white men and call it something more than what it is because your feelings will let you admit that you were just a little toy for him for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 18 months. Oh, I dated a white man. Did you date or were you just a placeholder? Huh? Dark skinned black women often have better dating experiences with white men because of colorism. Where are all the wedding rings, ma'am? I love when dark skinned black women in specific talk like this. Huh? White men cease being racist. White men see all of that cease once a dark skinned black woman enters the room, right? All of a sudden, systems of oppression don't matter anymore. White men cease being white men. White male hegemonic patriarchal capitalist deal. All of that goes out the window, especially in progressive spaces. Huh? All of that goes out the window, right? So yeah, yo, I keep on saying it, but we're actually gonna end up. 414. This is what they're saying to us. And 414 says, so the people who created colorism are the least colorist. That's what, A, you let black women talk long enough, and actually, a lot of women of color, not just black women. If you let them talk long enough, that's what they're really saying. That's why I keep on bringing up the Crown Act. Apparently, white men love them black women with their natural hair out, but black women had to fight for the Crown Act. right?
Better you said you got 2 more closings in you. Trail said 3 hours later. Right? No, no, you guys. He got things to do in the morning. So on that note, everyone, we've been here long enough. I'm covering this not so much for Cheska Lee. I think Cheska Lee expressed to us something we've heard other black folks, namely black women, say. Check the links in the description box. Um, but her comment section is just acting a fool. Her comment section says everything. Bruce Owen Wayne, you still ain't tell me what this mean yet, right? But or did you? And I just didn't read it. I missed it. But yeah, her comment section is acting a fool, right? I'm trying to see if Bruce Owen Wayne. I'm not gonna read it. Oh man, yeah. I just looked at one of the comments that Bruce Owen Wayne posted, right? So on that note, Bruce Owen Wayne didn't give me the translation yet, so trying to wait to give him a minute. But I guess I'll start making my closing. Um, on that note, yo, we'll pause right here. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. Other not, I'm reading that. I'm saying that too early, way too early. We'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. Other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. As I said, I wasn't trying to really beat up on Cheska Lee. I get it. Um, I think she was being very vulnerable here, uh, and I appreciate that. I think she was saying stuff like I said before that we've heard brothers from the burbs, definitely black women from the burbs, as they come off of the stupor and the white male peen, say to us. So I appreciate it. Her comment section, that's a whole different conversation. And so y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, like I said, non-Manosphere content, and we'll pause right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all rest of y'all night. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out. Skirt.